you've been working all week long for. The time we officially... Let's hear some car horns out there going with the whistle. Everybody ready? All right. It's Friday, 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 Friday.
Says it's quitting time.
I said it's quitting time.
I was the foreman. I was the one says when it's quitting time at terror. Quitting time!
You are a wonderful person.
It's a party town. Friday evening, what a feeling. Feel like singing.
Losing his mind. And I'm reaping all the benefits.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
You gotta make the best of life while you're young.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to Friday. It has been a crazy week. Everyone's out there doing their thing, working the grind. And here we are. We're going to take a pause. I have not done a Friday live morning show before here on the tube, but I am thrilled to do it. And with me is this guy. He's my favorite satirist. You're more of a comedian than you are a YouTuber, my friend. I really have to be honest. You bring me a lot of joy and happiness, and it's great to have you with me, my friend.
Thank you very much. Well, I love to spread joy and happiness, especially around this time of year.
Yeah. So I don't know if you were familiar with this type of like radio morning show nonsense that I showcased in the opening there. This is, it was dear to my heart growing up as a little kid. He actually came to Florida like a year before us. He started in 78. We moved to Florida in 79. It was Q105. His name was Mason Dixon. He still does some radio stuff as I understand it. But he had this like morning Q Zoo stuff. He was our local Q Zoo guy. And it was like not the raunchy stuff. There's a lot of raunchy stuff that got a little too crazy, but it was just part of the morning stuff. It was part of the afternoon stuff. And I thought, well, you know what? We'll bring a little bit of that lightheartedness stuff out there for everybody, hopefully. And folks, if you want to send me more of those little clippets, more of those other shows, those kinds of things, I'd love to see them. So, Jay, I don't know if that was new to you, but happy to expose you to something that Americana.
Yeah, new to me, definitely.
Well, let's say hello to these wonderful people here. Penny, hope you're doing all right. Gord is here as well. Great to see folks rolling in here. And yeah, Joker will be with me next week. That's right. Joker will be rolled up in here. A little bit more of a Batman theme, talking about stuff. And we'll probably get to a topic we're going to touch on a little bit later, Jay, is Batman Returns a Christmas movie? Because this guy would think so. Mephisto is in the house. Yeah, great to see you, man. Across the pond. Adega, awesome. The Mad Doctor is here. Let's do it. Let's hang out, have some good time. Daryl, the derelict, man. Daryl definitely is my age. So I guess, Daryl, you probably had some sort of Texas version of the morning zoo shenanigans, that Friday whistleblowing, chanting craziness. I don't know. We're sad Americans, Jay. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's all been downhill since the revolution. What do you want me to say?
Of course it has, yeah.
And here, great to see you. Thanks for coming by. It's awesome to hang out this morning, and just have a good time. Let's see here if I missed anybody else here. I think I've got most things, and Malka as well. Awesome, great, cool. Keely Chow is here. Yeah,
roll Tide. That's what you have to say, isn't it?
Yeah, it's this thing.
Keely Chow, you have to say Roll Tide. That's
on brand for Keely Chow. I have a hard time. He think he would understand as a Floridian that I'm not a big Roll Tide. Yeah, and hashtag.
I don't even know what it means. I think it's something to do with the college football team. I can never remember which one.
100%. The University of Alabama Crimson Tide. They're very successful.
Got it.
But they're a rival to like Georgia and Florida, and of course, so folks, you'll be I'm not a huge football fan, let alone college football fan any longer, but I'm more than happy to enjoy the references. So, well, Jay, how have things been? You been good and busy?
Well, since when was the last time we spoke?
It's been a minute because we both had job stuff going on, real life stuff going
I
on. So
mean,
it's been a long ride, my friend.
last time we spoke at Christmas, I didn't even need a job. Now, sadly, I do need a job. You'll see I've moved house to a much smaller place. Everything's gone wrong. So this is now probably a good time to link my Patreon, but I won't do that. But yeah, there's been ups and downs this year, but overall, on paper, it's been bad.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Don't worry, it's all good. If it happened to someone else, I'd laugh. So let's see the funny side.
Well, it's not so much the funny side, but you know what? Take a break from the shenanigans of the real life part for just a minute. And I think we all have that roller coaster of life. And if you're out there, folks, and you're feeling a little bit of that, feeling a little lonely, feeling a little whatever, you know what? You got to ride that roller coaster out of that trough and get back up on that upswing again. So.
Just to be clear, I'm not planning on self-deletion or anything, or whatever you have to say on YouTube. Let's be quite clear. It's not that bad. It's just a bit rubbish.
Gotcha. Awesome. So one of the things that's a hot topic right now, I thought I would get into right away, is this Wicked shenanigans. I'm sure you're familiar that this is kind of a big deal right now. I don't quite, I'm not totally surprised by the Wicked phenomenon or anything like that. My wife's huge into musicals and that kind of thing. So I didn't do a review. I thought we would just talk about it briefly. I mean, I'm sure you were there day one, right, Jake? Because I mean, obviously, this is going to be on brand for you. No.
So my understanding is it's some sort of Wizard of Oz business that's been turned into a musical, and now there's a film, and people are saying it's going to be rubbish because whatever reason. I don't know, and then I don't know if it's done well, if it's done badly. I'm assuming it's done well by the way you're talking about it.
So here's the story. We sit down and watch this, and she's really into this musical. She's really into musicals. And it's a sequel to Wizard of Oz. It has a brief little clip of Wizard of Oz, and then there's like this whole Glinda the Good Witch is going to tell the story of the Wicked Witch, and this whole thing about how they were, quote, friends. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, you were friends? There's a story? And the Broadway play is based on this the origin story of the Wicked Witch.
Right.
So we're watching the movie. I nodded off about an hour in, man. I was bored out of my mind. I hated the characters. I hated Ariana Grande as the Good Witch. I couldn't stand this woman that's playing Elphaba, the Bad Witch. I can't stand villain backstories trying to make me care about all these people. I want the villain to be a villain. I want the villain to be evil. I didn't need we got to feel sorry for her. And there's it's the racism stuff because she's green. Racism.
Oh, I see. Who's made this, by the way? Is it Disney?
Universal, I believe. I don't think it's Universal.
Well, it doesn't matter who it is now. They all throw that sort of shit in, don't they?
Yeah. And then a lot of animal rights type stuff with how these, enchantment of the animals and how they're being treated and all that. So I didn't stay asleep. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to, but so I will say the songs and things of that nature are pretty freaking good. Like I have to be honest, the CGI I think is very, very solid. The musical numbers, the choreography. I wouldn't be shocked if people are already talking about it being an Oscar film. I'm sure it will get nominated because they're allowed to nominate 10 best Oscar films. So there's 10. So we'll get one of those token nods most likely. Yeah. But it probably will get nod and win for things like music and costumes or choreography, set design, those kinds of things. But being a good film, I found it to be tedious and really drawn out. Like, wow. And then I didn't know this going in. Jay, this will shock you. And this is going to be such a good turn on for Jay. Jay, it is actually part one of 2 movies.
Oh, of course it is.
There's another. It's like it's not only 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's only a part one. And you're like,
I've got to ask a few questions. So, first of all, thank you very much, Olds Gamer 72, for the membership. That has landed on me. Get in. Awesome. And secondly, I've got to ask you, how much of a Wizard of Oz fan are you?
A very big nostalgia fan. I mean, I don't own any like Wizard of Oz merch or anything like that.
Oh, I would hope not. Actually, I say that. I'm looking in your background. You've got everything else. So.
Yeah, but it's Wizard of Oz is one of those. It's a nice, pleasant movie. It's on. We probably gets watched once a year. Mrs. Pops is going to make sure of that. We did see it in the theater relatively recently. I think it was this year or last year. It was
when it came out.
No, I'm not.
I know. I'm just joking.
the great. Hey, listen, there's people out there. But it was a great experience seeing it in the theater because you had a better immersion experience with the dark, the room. I have a very nice place, but I've never seen Wicked, stage play. I don't really have any desire. I'm not a huge musical fan.
No.
So
Sorry, one last question. Where are you on Return to Oz?
I'm not watching Return of Oz.
I love Return to Oz. I think it's brilliant. Yeah.
Isn't that the Disney one?
I think it is Disney, yeah. But it was Disney before Disney was Disney, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I understand that. That's for sure. That's for sure. All right.
Anyway, sorry, carry on.
No, I was just I'm catching up as well. I know you got ahead of me a little bit on that, but saying hey to Gap. Great to see you, brother. And yes, OG, thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. The reason I did not see it is because my chat froze up on my thing here, and it gave Jay the membership. So hence the reason I said thank you. I get it now. I was playing catch up because my chat froze up on me there. So, but thank you, OG, man. He's been with me since the get go, man. He's one of my oldest members. He's been here whole time. Super cool, super supportive people out here. I like the musical, but the way the media are blowing it up as the two lead actresses has become annoying. Yeah. And I was going to play the video, so I may just try to load that up while we're chit-chatting here, Anima, because their PR. Have you seen any of those clips of them promoting this movie? Because
I've seen it all over. You know that. Well, I'm sure we both watch the same sort of YouTube videos. I've seen it plastered all over it, but because of my lack of interest, I'll be honest, I haven't seen much about it. So no, I haven't. But who is it? It's Ariana Grande is the
good witch.
Yeah, and the bad one is played by who?
I don't know her name. I'll have to pull it up in a window.
Right. But is she an irritating bitch? Is that what the deal is?
It's insufferable.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Cynthia Inrivo is her name.
Okay. Right.
I'll pull up what I have been able to see here. I really have just sort of been shocked. I mean, I'm not shocked. We're at the point now where we really can't be shocked by much of anything anymore. It's gotten so bad. But she literally went out onto the marketing landscape.
For a minute, I thought I was a guest and she was going to come in and start bollocking us.
Yeah, maybe. No.
Okay,
no, she. Hang on here. I'm playing with an EV Mux, folks. So bear with me. There we go. Here we go. Tons of piercings through her nose, and they're talking about how gay everything is. They're talking about how, and there's this constant thing happening where they're holding hands all the time. She has like these nails that are like, I don't know, like
what's her name? Florence Griffiths Joyner nails.
Yeah, just nuts. Like, what is going on with these two? See how they're holding hands all the time, and her nails are like 2-3 inches long. Weird hats, weird costuming, just nothing about this.
She looks like her daddy never loved her. Let's put it that way. But as for the whole gay stuff with regards to Wizard of Oz, that was taken a while ago. Dorothy Gale is like a gay icon, isn't she? For some reason, I don't know how that's come about.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's certainly not from the script, is it? I mean, so I don't know how they hijacked that. But
no, they do that. I've always said, is this a rainbow thing? Are we so primitive that it's a rainbow? I really don't know. Maybe you guys in chat have to tell me understand that. I don't really get it. I really don't. But yeah, totally crazy. Man, oh man, Nerdporial throwing down $10, man. Thank you so much. See you tonight. Yeah, I will be on with Nerdporial tonight, which is 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'm a busy one, Mr. Pops. Let's see, maybe I should change tonight's stream to how Pops stole Trekporial Dog Hard. Yeah, thank you, man. So, just total backstory for someone like Jay and all of you out there. Nerdporial was actually sort of my guide to. I'll watch the original Star Trek TV show. I'm not a Trek person, and it was a big thing when I was growing up as a kid with my mom, but I don't even remember half these episodes. So I've actually done videos on every single episode. He's been walking me through some of that. Lots of comments on trivia and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be on him tonight with sort of a Trek wrap up. And then for Christmas, we'll probably talk about the animated Grinch, which I think is just phenomenal. So it's going to be great to do that. But Nerdporial has been a great friend and journeyman and all this. Thank you for your generosity, man. That's super awesome. Super awesome. Gord, love Wizard of Oz. Couldn't care less about Wicked. And I think that is kind of where definitely all the men are. Like, if any of us are like me, where you're like, I like Wizard of Oz, man. It's a freaking great movie and it holds up well and it's fun. So whatever. 2 hours and 40 minutes, and it's a part one with two insufferable people in real life, and more spoilers, I guess. Should we keep doing spoiler warning? Because I don't know.
Oh,
I
I
don't
won't
want
worry
to.
about that. I mean, is anyone? I don't think anyone in the chat's going to watch it, are they? I
Yeah.
mean, this is a. We know what sort of people we're dealing with here. So.
The freaking wizard is the bad guy. Like,
Yeah.
what on earth? Like, Jeff Goldblum plays the wizard, which is okay casting. I don't think he was old enough. I really would have seen someone a little bit older, but it's okay. But then it's like, oh wait, the wizard is kind of like the bad guy with the whole animal thing and how the monkeys. I'm like, oh, it's all of the tropes and the cliches that Disney, like you had kind of accurately put your finger on. Like, it seemed like something Disney would have done like 2 years ago. It feels like, to me, it even feels like out of that. Like, I don't understand why this made it, but yeah. People are loving the Batman 2 at Christmas. Yeah, I know. It's a thing. I don't totally agree, but we'll have a talk about that next week. Ironcaster, my brother. Ironcaster is my co-host over on Talk Hard every Tuesday, and he's getting close to 800 subs. So rock on, brother. Keep on hanging in there, folks. If you get a chance to check that out, if you're not, he's a friend and ally. There's another friend and ally out there, Mark, Captain Kirk. Great to see you, man. Thanks for hanging out. So they're going to see that movie. They're going to watch Wicked. So hopefully I'm not ruining too much for the Kirk family. I apologize if I am. So
I didn't realize. Sorry, I didn't realize you had anyone that was actually going to plan to watch it. But then again,
who knows? He is like me. He's got a wife that's probably into musicals enough, and it's not again, it's 2 hours and 40 minutes. If this was an hour and 40 minutes, to me, it would be an easier film to kind of digest. Like I don't know. Let's see. Wizard of Oz is a better musical by far. Yeah, 150% on that one. So, the Ariana Grande thing. There's lots of Captain Kirk comments. So, she got mad about the fan poster made to more resemble the musical poster and made it about herself and racism. Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, they also got have you seen the stories where they've got in trouble because they put wicked.com on the box of some of the toys and those go to a porn site? So,
oh, nice. Good.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I know.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. She does not look like that in the ads. I know. So they do that. So, no, Nerpoil, I'm working on switching over to EV Mux. I am trying to make a switch. We'll see how it goes. So far, I haven't had any major issues. There's a lot to learn because it is different. Jay, I think you've been using the EV Mux for a minute.
When I did these, I used EV Mux. And I'll tell you, I mean, I was sort of 50-50 on it. I looked at the offering at the time and EV Mux was better. But, I mean, the prices of StreamYard now, I mean, that is disgusting. That is absolutely terrible. This is so much cheaper, and some of the features are better. I know some people have issues with it. I think Mephisto says he's had issues with it, but I'm not paying those I would never pay those StreamYard prices. Not for people who don't make a lot of money on YouTube.
Yeah, I went from like a $25 a month thing to this is like a monthly thing. If you don't do the annual thing, to like $45 a month, and I'm like, wait, hold on. I can buy two services.
Yeah,
I could double my storage by using two completely different services and have it. Just had to put, but they slimmed down so much of what they offer with the free that it's almost like not even bothering with StreamYard at this point. Like I kept it for a little while into the free thing, and I may have to go back and use it from time to time. But for now, I'm going to try to get back on EV Mux and try to learn a little bit.
I'm not having the logos look terrible.
Yeah,
I mean it's so bad. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Joker's talking about loving some Judy Garland love. Get it? Yeah. She was. We had a lot of that growing up. Joker, we did. Andy Mastern is here. Man, he's a great guy. Super cool, man. Talented guy. So, yeah, he's listing off some more. Gilligan's Island had a fair share, and a little bit. We get that. So, they didn't. They basically turned dark mode on and raised the prices. And this is a rant for another day, I'm sure, for thing. But for me, it was like they were willing to nearly double the prices. Even if they lost half the customers, the overall revenue line would be the same. So for them, they're just going to ride this out. Because I think this changed hands. It's not the original people. It's gotten bought out. So I think now we're in the middle of this business conglomerate running it. And now we're just going to see what happens. And
they're just looking after the cows. And what they don't care about people who have less than like 10,000 subs who might want to stream. They care about people who are going to be making a lot of money that will get a lot of traffic, and they'll see the StreamYard. So it's basically they're trying to roll stuff like us out so that everyone high up has got that. But then they need to be offering better stuff. That's the thing; they're not offering anything better. Like I don't think they even do 1080, do they, on the lowest brand?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so either. I'd have to pull it up and look, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I know. Circle profile. I know. I know. What are some of the other options? I can talk to you about this more, Mark, if you want. EV Mux is the one that I'm trying now. I did Restream for a while. It's really not any different than a cheap version of StreamYard. There's really no real bells and whistles with it, but it's inexpensive. But EV Mux really does have a lot of integration at the cheaper level. Like you're paying like $19 a month or $25 a month, whatever it is. And you have a lot of these different little layouts. That's what I was hitting all these little buttons with, guys. It's like just me learning where all of them are because I'm not used to the, because you can just quickly change all of these different things and move them around. And it's just there. So just getting used to the order that they're in and where they are. Then there's an option that you can kind of set up your own. And all this is in just that base system. So I'm interested in seeing how it goes.
And the like obviously you've got the dynamic view, but the scenes view is pretty good as well.
Okay.
Like the fact that you can set up the backgrounds and stuff and how you can integrate it is pretty good. The more you use it, the more you learn. So I was learning it about a year into it, and still found more stuff that I could do.
Yeah, there's so many things with it. I was trying to figure out, so I couldn't find the right tutorial to like speed up my learning curve because I was trying to how do I learn? And it's like I had to, it's like a 10-minute video, but I needed to get to like Mark 6, but I didn't know that, so I'm wasting 4 or 5 minutes. But anyway. Squeaka Mouse, another co-host from Talk Hard. The generosity is insane. Squeaka is gifted 5 more memberships. This is crazy. Thank you so much, Squeaka. Gord King. Oh, I'm not sure I know how to pronounce. Fenra Fire. Oh, man, cool. I'm not familiar with you, man. Great. Thanks for being here. John Douglas. Ironcaster, getting another, and Captain Kirk. Awesome, man. It's great. Squeaka is amazing. She is been such a blessing to get to know, and now she's going to be part of our show and our family there on every Tuesday. So it's just been amazing. So
nice.
But yeah, no, Wicked. That's kind of my take on it. I can tell you that I glad we didn't pay cash. 2 hours and 40 minutes is a pretty long haul, man. That's a long beat for a movie, and that was my big turnoff. We were ready to go see it in the theaters. I was ready to shell out some cash to make Mrs. Pops happy, and she goes, wait, it's 2 hours and 40 minutes, and I'm like, 2 hours and 40 minutes? Like I can watch 2 other movies in 2 hours and 40 minutes. Like I'm not. So needless to say, we went through the other avenues that are out there, and that's what we did. So
nice. Or 3 Hallmark movies in 2 hours 40 minutes.
Very good. Thanks for that transition, because I'll get into what you do best, because you are the satirist, the black comedian of just, well, I should say that right. A master at black comedy, satire, humorism, that kind of thing. It is phenomenal. And you love to watch movies that are not so good. Your biggest video of all time, though, is like Porky's, which I had not known that was your biggest one. I changed the search.
It's caught up with Animal Instincts 2 this year. I don't know why that's done well, but the viewership is all over 55, 65s. So I don't get many subs or interaction off that. But it's they do watch for a long time. Maybe that's good. Yeah. So, but normally my thing is Lifetime movies, and at Christmas I do Hallmark. This year, so far, I've done the Netflix Hallmark rip-off movies, like a Christmas Prince trilogy. That's what I've done so far. And that's been good fun. But yeah, I love those. I love Lifetime films. I will watch them out of choice, especially now. They're better. It's more fun than watching like stuff that comes out from Hollywood.
Well, we will get to some of the Hollywood Christmas conversation in a moment. But let me tell you, folks, if you have ever sat through one of the Hallmarks and you thought this is the same as the other one, or you know what, watch his videos. It is insane. And then I have to be honest, man, you've done such a great job of embracing the inside jokes and stacking on those and stacking on those and stacking on those. However, I'll be critical. I still, as far as I know, don't have some of the merch that I need to get out of the J Herring brain. I need to have it's not called public domain high. What's it called? What do you refer to the high school, the generic high school?
Stock footage high.
I need a stock footage high t-shirt, or one of those, like,
leather jackets.
Eddie Murphy had like the Mumford physical education type thing, which is just text basically. I just want that for stock photo high. So
yeah, I need to get that sorted out at some point. The merch, definitely.
That's my big one. So I have what is the ultimate of requests. It is currently free on Pluto TV. So I don't know if you guys have Pluto TV over there.
We do.
This is a Matthew McConaughey, Kate Beckinsale film that I did not know about. I have not watched yet. I just found it, and I thought, I don't know if I want to watch it until after Jay does something with it. I'm just going to tell you, folks, strap in. Yeah, this is for any of you guys out there. Before I get to the play, have any of you heard of Tiptoes?
Yes. Oh my God, it's this one. Yes, I've heard it.
Have you seen this?
I haven't. I've seen someone else.
Carol and Stephen's life together was perfect.
Here, Matthew McConaughey, Kate Beckinsale. Okay, this is not some cheesy. No, this is not Hallmark level. These are big name stars.
I've got to get going.
Right this second.
Wait, what is going on? What is the deal with this movie?
Hey, sweetie.
And they go to their little party, and they're gonna have a little, the story's gonna move along a little bit, and then suddenly we get to like the first what is happening?
Hi, I'm Ralph. I'm his brother.
So the brother is a dwarf, which we're gonna get to the joke, played by Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
Gary freaking Oldman. Like, what on earth?
Twins. Are your parents,
Yeah.
It can tear them apart.
I think you're gonna let me know that everyone in your family's a midget.
They're not midgets, Carol. They're dwarfs.
They're not midgets, they're dwarfs. It is just wait.
I mean,
it's legit.
I believe the term is little people, but
it wasn't in 2003.
No, it wasn't. Was it not? I don't know when that changed. I mean, I thought midget was all right. I still say midget.
I'm 2003 might be it. That I don't know. You're good. You're bringing up a good point because I don't know when the terminology, the PC thing changed. Yeah. Good question. Don't know for sure. Tiptoes is 2003 for sure.
Right.
Let's see. I know we had some people. Dave Bob popped in. Loki popped in. I shared this with Ironcast. I shared this with Loki last night, and he was like, "How have I not heard?" I know, Joker, Kate Beckinsale. I know this is insane. So I know she did not waste any time. I know, Bob. I know. So,
or bring them together.
Hey, welcome. I'm Steven.
Oh, there you are. This is Steven's father, Bruno, and his mom, Kathleen. And over behind the bar.
Look at her face. Look at her face, Jay.
I know. Brilliant.
Is this just gold?
I think this could be gold. Yeah. Okay, that's a decent request. I'll get onto it after Christmas, I think.
So, Matthew McConaughey, there's an interview with Matthew McConaughey, which you might even be able to incorporate the snippet where he was asked about this, and he talks about how he was the biggie in the family, and they had this chair that was I'm like, my brain was just like, OMG.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they took this serious.
This is pretty well hidden, though, isn't it? People don't generally talk about this. They don't like this at all because it's Matthew McConaughey and Kate Beckinsale. And wasn't Kate Beckinsale married to Michael Sheen, who's one of the people that would absolutely slam something like this now? Oh, and speaking of that, there he is, Peter
Dinklage. Yeah, I wanted to get to him. Peter Dinklage has a role, and the girlfriend is Patricia Arquette.
Right.
So this is not.
This is not good for anyone. This is
No.
not a good look. This is not a good look.
No, this is a thing. Yeah, this was crazy. Yeah, I know. I'm just like blown away. This is, on all accounts, though, the final film of Matthew Bright. I don't know if this is a reason why it's his final film, but it is his final film.
I think what's his name? Gary Oldman is literally walking around on his knees with shoes over his knees. Is that right?
They do a very clever job of not seeing his shoes. You just don't see them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it is
because when you kneel down on your shoes and go, "Look, everyone, I'm a midget."
Yeah.
Right. That's what I thought he was doing.
He is on his knees, and that is what he's doing. 100%.
Okay.
There's a couple shots where he is like inside the couch, kind of thing, or something of that nature. Yeah. But it's not. But it actually just keeps getting worse. So he talks about this movie. He's been asked, like, you don't get to you don't get to just completely ignore something of this caliber. So
this is a terrible cheap shot. Sorry, but so are we saying that Gary Oldman or Kate Beckinsale was on their knees for longer in this film?
I'm not sure, but
Okay.
it may be. I don't know. I haven't seen the film yet, so I guess I shouldn't. I
was talking about the Nosh job at the start of the.
Oh no! I'm well aware of what you were saying, because for all I know, those scenes are happening regularly. I don't know.
I can't imagine they are.
Yeah. So here he is. He's talking about it. Let's see.
Benchmark in the field of makeup.
Look, I'm so...
Field of makeup. In the benchmark in the field of makeup.
It's a benchmark film in the field of makeup, Jay.
Is that right?
It is.
That is. That's all he can find to say.
In other people's lives, but really, it's a stretch to imagine what the pressure and the tension.
It's incredible. I'm sort of blown away at the shenanigans. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. I was.
It needs a remake.
Maybe it might come back, but I think you need to do your part. Make sure you highlight that, and make sure I am well aware of the tiptoes. Yeah,
I can promise you, I will definitely watch that in the new year, and I will. It's bound to be good enough, isn't it? Just the premise alone is good.
I know, Loki. I don't know if that actually happens in the movie, because that would be the gold. The gold would be in the movie, and there's a scene where he actually does. All right. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Gap is addressing our debate about the term midget was changed to little people in 1960 when little people of America. No. The midget was still.
They may have formulated it then. They may have thought that's come up with an idea to call it that then. But it was people were definitely saying midget in the 90s.
100%.
I mean, little people. At some point, I think there were TV programs like about midgets, and they were going, "We're not midgets, we're little people." And not that they talk like. Well, they do talk like that, actually, don't they, Sam? And was that the one? 1 2 1 2 1.
1 2 1 2. Is that working?
Which one's
That's working. There we go.
Okay, is that the low one or the high one? Was the last one?
Yeah, the last one was the one to go with. The last one was, Munchkin Land.
Yeah. Okay, that one. So we're not midgets, we're little people.
Here we go.
That's what they used to say. Yeah.
Joker gives us the heads up here on Kate Beckinsale, married to Michael Sheen, and then found out she was doing on her knees with Len Weissman while doing Underworld. So there you go. Cosby sweater, yeah, it's definitely shenanigans. It is definitely an obnoxious sweater. This one is actually a Star Wars one. I know that sounds crazy, but for those of you at home that are Star Wars people, Boba Fett is actually in the corner over here on this side. So yeah,
Jesus.
I know.
Sorry, is he talking about Bing Crosby or Bill Cosby about the sweater?
Bill Cosby.
Oh, he is. Right. Okay, sorry. Yeah. I thought he'd left the R out, but no. Okay, fair enough.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So
yeah. What's in Pops? What's in the eggnog? Well,
nothing's in my eggnog. I'm good.
No,
I'm drinking the Dr. Pepper like I normally am. It's a stretch being a midget.
That's very good. That is good.
Good job,
well.
Daryl. We see what you did there. What you did there. That was pretty solid. So yeah, Tiptoes is it's out there, and it was on Pluto for free locally. So I don't know, you guys have Pluto over there or not, but
we do now. Yeah.
So that's where I'll be watching it, probably sooner than later, because how could I not? So I'm thinking sometimes next week. Tiptoes is moving right up the list. And fortunately, this week for Talk Hard, I have a really short film. We're doing a year without Santa
see what we did there. Sorry.
Oh, I got a short film. It's like all it all just keeps coming together, doesn't it? It does.
And is that a Christmas movie because of elves? Although elves not the same thing as dwarves? I don't know.
Don't think so.
No.
Could have been.
Santa's elves are dwarves, even though elves and dwarves are different things in like Lord of the Rings world.
Yeah, but even in Lord of the Rings, isn't he the one that changed the way we say elves and not elves and dwarves instead of dwarfs? It's because of him. So
is that right?
I think it's all coming together. It's a theme for next week.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
Short movies, short films about short people and shortness and the greater things. It's all about the little people next week.
Nice.
So yeah, we'll see. Well, that takes me full circle to let's just change up our look here. A year ago, we had to sit down and we talked about Christmas movies, and I have to give you credit because I've stolen one of your lines, and that is the fact that my house does indeed look like Santa's grotto. It really does. It does. I have at least 7 or 8 Christmas trees. I have a big house. I'm not going to lie to anybody. A big house. They use these little skinny trees in every room with different looks. There's decorations everywhere because we had 3 houses before, so everything kind of got consolidated into one. So for all of you are throwing rocks,
There's a lot of bragging going on here.
It's confession. I mean, it's just being honest.
I can hear the memberships getting cancelled.
You know what, folks? I'm sorry. I got to be authentic with you. I did promise that I'd take the camera around and film some of the stuff because Mrs. Pops they do all that stuff, so it's completely nuts.
Yeah.
So with that, I have to be honest because we watch a lot of these Christmas movies, and I had Jay come in. He's kind of my foil in the what defines a Christmas movie. So I'll let you sort of because we have the easy stuff, Christmas for Christmas sakes movies. So we'll just put that on the shelf, right? Christmas Vacation, Christmas Story. No one is debating Frosty the Snowman or Rudolph the Reindeer. No.
Yeah.
What is your definition, or how do you pin in the terms for some quote non-conventional Christmas movies?
I think last time I called them fringe Christmas movies. So I would have Die Hard in that thing. I'd have probably Batman in that one. Batman 2, that is. Trading Places, fringe Christmas movie. Gremlins, fringe Christmas movie. I mean, these are films that people like at Christmas. And by the way, some people get really upset about this. Like sometimes if you say Die Hard's not a Christmas film, people talk to you as if you've assaulted their children. I mean, it is a joke. People need to chill out. But yeah, I'd say those were fringe Christmas movies. Then you get the non-Christmas movies. I think we talked about last time, where it's just a film and there's a scene where there's a Christmas dinner, but actually the film's set over 5 years, so of course there's going to be Christmas meals. Do you know what I mean? And those are non-Christmas. So I'd say full Christmas movie, Elf, The Santa Claus, Father Christmas, whatever. It's a Wonderful Life, perhaps. Although I've not seen it, well, I take your word for it. Then you get fringe ones like Die Hard and Trading Places, and then you get non-Christmas movies that people for some reason associate with Christmas.
And that leaves us. Well, I think okay. The latter one would be like Harry Potter, right? Because you said it takes place over such a long span of time. They have a Christmas scene, and that scene is what? Yeah. So Eyes Wide Shut even is on that list, which is one of my favorite references to make because there's a random Christmas tree in the background in one of these scenes of this crazy movie. So all you in chat hate on Jay because he just said Die Hard's not a Christmas movie. No, he said it's a fringe Christmas movie. But do you agree or not agree with the terms, the categories, the subcategories? The irony is too, Jay, and I want to throw in like a couple of Thanksgiving thing I didn't know about because we recently did a talk hard on the movie Dutch, which is he goes home for Thanksgiving break and brings. But using your criteria, like it could be said at any time of the year. It's barely mentioned. Thanksgiving's barely mentioned. And there's no real Thanksgiving music or anything like that kind of fleshes out the feel of the movie. Yeah. And it came out during the summer, just like Die Hard and Gremlins.
I wouldn't say that's. I wouldn't say that's a Thanksgiving movie. Well, Thanksgiving is pretty. I think Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is the same, isn't it? So that's a Thanksgiving thing, or is that Christmas where they go home?
No, it's Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Right. Okay. The only Thanksgiving film I can think of is Thanksgiving.
The horror film that came out last year.
Yeah, which I thought was brilliant, by the way.
Home for the Holidays is a lot more Thanksgiving. Like Home for the Holidays is about Thanksgiving dinner. There's a huge scene with Thanksgiving dinner and stuff like that. So at least if I had to scale it, it has more Thanksgiving. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles centers around him getting home for Thanksgiving. That at least it makes more sense than even Dutch, which is just like a casual reference for a break. Because we could easily edit Dutch with a couple very minor tweaks and make it a Christmas movie. We could just change the break, add in a whole lot of Christmas music, and it would pretty much work because a lot of the scenes are in the snow and cold and things of that nature. So
yeah. By the way, there's no Thanksgiving songs, are there?
We have not embraced any Thanksgiving songs here in America. No. So I'm looking.
We obviously don't have any. So.
Well, I don't know. You guys might just like listen.
Well, Thanksgiving's not it's not an. Right, yeah.
I know, but out of spite, you might be like, you know what? We're just going to make some Thanksgiving songs. You just
horrible.
Just to. Let's see, Thanksgiving songs, 38 tunes. All right, we'll share this and see. Total cold, blind, don't know what I'm getting myself into. Folks, you guys will tell us what you think. I don't know. There's no sort of like tradition of Thanksgiving songs or music or anything like that. So very intense on the eyes graphic they have going here. Songs about giving thanks.
Yeah, that's not the same thing.
Yeah. Bob Marley and the Wailers, Give Thanks and Praises.
No, that's not
Otis Redding, I Want to Thank You. We Are Family. Be Thankful. Bing Crosby, I Got Plenty to Be Thankful For.
No, this is not thanks. No. So
this
that's
all about thankfulness.
Saying thank you. Alanis Morissette will be on there in a bit.
All right, then you've got about or related to Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Okay, so this is so the peanuts. If those of you don't know, the Halloween and Christmas peanuts have caught on. They're obviously kind of like staples for most people. People love that, but the Thanksgiving one never caught on. Like it's not really a thing even here. So let me change this look so it. I don't know if we have a copyright issue or not. So I just want to make sure I keep moving things around. I don't know what this song is, so let's play. There's no music. It's an instrumental. It's an instrumental from that movie.
That's where you'll get the copyright, by the way. Over 5 seconds of music. Just be careful.
Let's Turkey Trot. Let's see. We're all the dancer. Whatever the case. Northern Soul. Okay. At least sounds like it's possible.
Yeah, it is. So there's a few of them. Yeah.
Green Day has one called Macy's Day Parade. But it says this isn't necessarily about Thanksgiving. Well, the irony is that's what the Macy's Day Parade is. So I'm not quite sure there. Oh yeah, Adam Sandler has a parody song about Thanksgiving.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. So there's a few things here and there, but none of these are in our lexicon or our culture like at all. Then they go into songs about food, which is now we're getting to like absurd. No one's thinking that. So I don't know. Should we have songs about Thanksgiving, folks?
Probably not. Think? If it's anything like most Christmas songs, I'd rather not. There's some around Halloween, isn't there? You got the Monster Mash and stuff like that. That's probably my favorite one.
Yeah, Thriller's a huge one. There's a few, for sure. So
yeah, I think that's quite enough though, because they can't just have seasonal things playing all the way through the year. Like
they would if they could.
4th of July songs. Yeah, I suppose you just play all the patriotic songs around 4th of July, don't you?
Yeah, I think you'll see a big spike in like Born in the USA and
God Bless USA.
Yeah, Freedom. There's a few of those type of songs. John Mellencamp really kind of banked on that back when we were young because he would do whole concerts, kind of a Let Freedom Ring kind of thing, and it kind of was a thing for a while. But these things burn themselves out because they just get so overplayed, which is part of the reason I can get where folks get kind of bitter about Christmas songs because when you start playing them in October.
Yeah, quite.
60 to 90 days later, people are a little sick of it. So let's see. My Little Pony is a Christmas movie. Fight me on it. Oh, okay, Gap. Whoa.
I'll take your word for it.
All right. We'll go back. Gap. What defines a Christmas movie? Well, so I think we said there's Christmas movies for Christmas sakes, right? So movies that are just based on Christmas. So you have the Christmas Carol, Elf, Santa. These type of movies they were made for Christmas. They notwithstanding. And then you change. Are you sticking with your term fringe, or what was the other term you used?
That was it.
Okay,
fringe Christmas, yeah.
So the fringe movies is Christmas elements, some more than others. They're definitely embraced as part of Christmas by a lot of people. The irony is, I think even for those of us that might embrace one, you guys tell me in chat which one you might love but not like. So for me, I do love watching Die Hard every Christmas. I do love watching Gremlins every Christmas, but I don't like Batman Returns. Doesn't make my cut. I don't watch Batman Returns for Christmas. I actually don't like the Christmas element. I don't know. Sorry. I know it's a hypocrisy because I'm a huge Batman guy, but Batman is like a September thing for me. That's when Batman Day is. So what else did chat have to say here? Grinch Halloween special? What on earth? It scared me as a kid. It is just a little scary. It's an intense little cartoon for sure. My kids loved it. Lee Greenwood. There you go. Yeah, Lee Greenwood, definitely 4th of July type music for sure. So,
Dr. How do you say it? Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss. Mm-hmm.
Dr. Seuss really doesn't come here. That's very American and solely American thing. Yeah, we don't really. So, like, the Cat in the Hat is not a thing here. The Grinch only because of the Jim Carrey film, I think. A lot of stuff just doesn't make it. So when I moved to America when I was like 9, that's the first time I ever heard it.
Interesting.
I heard of him, yeah. Whereas in America, he's like everyone. He's known as the kids' writer, isn't he? Or was?
Oh, it changed everything. He Redfish, Bluefish, Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
These are things. Green Eggs and Ham.
That's the one. Yeah.
They were created in a way to improve children literacy.
Yeah.
So I tend to be a little bit of a Dr. Seuss nerd because in college, one of the how I don't know if you were in university long enough to have to write like certain numbers of term, but you remember these crazy projects you got yourself into, right?
Yeah.
And I did one of them on Dr. Seuss. and went through like his war era and getting an advertisement and how he transitioned into, writing kids books and why. Yeah. So it really is a fascinating American story, but he is also kind of like an odd dude. I mean, his whole world is just kind of like off a little bit, but he has great metaphors and life lessons in those books.
Yeah.
And Grinch is one that has transcended greatly. And I think Christmas came really early this year too. I wanted to point that out because I felt like at Thanksgiving, it's usually about the time most normal people transition. That makes sense, right? Stores seem to be getting earlier and earlier. And I'm part of that problem because my family decorates so early so we have time to enjoy it. That's but it was the day after the election here, Jay.
Yeah.
And all of the streaming services, if you went there as their most watch list, immediately were full of at least 3 to 4 Christmas movies. Every single service.
Yeah.
I mean, Elf, Scrooged, Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation, the cartoons, and it was like people were thirsty to get away from the politics for a minute and jumped over for screw Thanksgiving. We're thankful, whatever.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I mean,
nuts.
I mean, half the country definitely desperate to turn the news off, aren't they? Like, I mean, you've seen certain networks have lost half their viewers immediately the day after the election, and there was no way that's people crying about it. Because I mean, when that happens here and I get a result I don't like, I don't want to hear about it. Whereas if your team wins the Super Bowl or whatever the equivalent is in baseball, or the World Series, you want to watch the sports news channels for as long as you can while it's talking about it. If you've lost it, you don't want to see it at all, and that's even worse with pod. Right, I should jump off for 2 minutes. Sorry, I'll be back in 1 second.
All right. Let me catch up on you guys. Horton Hears a Who. Oh, it's so good, Dave Bob. So, and for those of you who don't know, I did not do a video on this. I will clip this so you guys know. The grandkids got to ask for like what movies they wanted to watch. And they asked for the original Grinch. They asked for Rankin and Bass Rudolph. They asked for A Year Without Santa Claus. They asked for these vintage things. And my DVD copy, because I have an original DVD copy of the Grinch story. And the second video on there is Horton Hears a Who. The 2 are on the 1 disc. So they were thrilled about that. So we didn't watch Horton yet, but let's see. Joker's talking about Batman Returns wasn't among the most watched Christmas movies. Now that is criminal. Ha 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 ha. Well, you can make that case next week. I get it. You are the sole flag bearer of Shazam. And I will be honest, rewatching Shazam after you and I talked about this at least a year ago, I was like, well, it's got as much Christmas as some of the others that we all love. It just doesn't have that reputation for some reason. So I think there's those images with Zachary Levi with the Santa hat on. So I think if we had a little bit more of that, maybe. Halloween starts at the end of August. Christmas starts at the end. Christmas started November 5th, hardcore. But if you go into like most of these like craft stores like Michael's and Hobby Lobby, October, they're just as crazy as my house where we're trying to do the decorations and stuff. But I don't do movies and music before. Just so you guys know, I'm not an October Christmas music and movies kind of guy. No, I don't do that. Just it's the logistics of getting decorations done. So I agree with Joker. The video game even was Christmas fun. Cool. Very cool. No, I get it. Look, I'm not hate. I think everyone can do their thing. We can do their thing. So and Norpro, I did see a couple of your comments that will come back when Jay is back because I think it's important to give him this. So Christmas in July is the best Rankin and Bass movie. Yeah, no, it's fun. It's good stuff. Rankin and Bass never gets old, and there's so many of them that I realize how I'm missing many of them. I don't have like all the box sets and stuff, and they've reissued them. Do any of you have the Blu-ray set? Because I'm not sure those are upscalable to a Blu-ray or not. Like, have they been restored properly to make that worth it? Because that seems like a pretty big stretch to me that was going to be the case. But I think Jay was one of the first people that I kind of could talk to and have more, because this is a huge ongoing issue in my house, is that I'm watching Die Hard and should I be watching Die Hard and all that. But yeah. All right. So we got Jay back. Yeah. All right, Jay. They had questions for you. No, you're fine. They have questions for you. They have comments. Is Thanksgiving a thing? I think you said that just kind of haphazardly. They don't do Thanksgiving there.
No, but we know about it because obviously all of our movies and stuff are Americans. So like you can't really escape it if you watch films or TV. But it's not. No one buys a turkey and invites the family around.
Is there any equivalent of a Thanksgiving another time of the year?
No. I suppose some people who are really religious do Easter as a thing, but that's not many people.
Okay. And then he had a great comment about maybe Seuss can help in UK. I don't know, just saying. Maybe
if he's talking about literacy rates, people in glass houses.
Well, I'm not saying we don't have our own issue. It didn't turn things around for us, but hey, whatever little bit helps.
No, that's right. Yeah, we do have a similar problem. I know that it depends what you watch, but or what who you listen to, but the UK has problems. But it's problems that you would find in a lot of large cities on the east and west coasts in the United States.
Yeah, it's a lot of parents not wanting to put in the work, to be honest. In my opinion, they come home from a day's work and they want to feed and bathe their kid and get a break, get a breather, take a breath. And reality is curling up next to your kid and reading books like this one, One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. When they are super little, I'm talking like 2 or 3, they will know the whole story. And my grandkids will have the stories memorized, even though they can't read yet.
Yeah.
But then the word association skips like a phonics. They don't need phonics. They just know what the word two looks like or the word red looks like.
Yeah.
So it's made them appear, in my opinion, to be even more advanced than they are, because just if you just do the work, they really do enjoy these stories. They're kind of fun.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think most things we went through. Captain Kirk, that's the way we celebrate holidays. We decorate a tree as a Halloween tree first, and then Thanksgiving, and then finally Christmas. Oh, that's cool.
Is it the same tree? Or has you got is it always a whatever Christmas tree? What's a Christmas tree? What make of tree is a Christmas tree?
There's a couple different kinds, like a fir or a pine tree. There's different kinds. A fir is probably one of the most common. A fir, yeah. So
is it a fir tree that you start with Halloween decorations? You just keep the same tree there. I suppose you only have to sweep up the pine needles once, don't you?
Well, a lot of ours are fake. Like we have a lot of fake trees. We don't have as many. And I'm in Florida, so almost all of our trees are fake. Real trees here dry out. It's like it is a task to deal with a real tree.
No, I can imagine,
in our humidity and stuff here in Florida. So we don't do the Halloween part, OG, but we do the fall tree, quote fall tree. So in line with like how Thanksgiving decorations would look with the oranges and the browns and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And she uses like a lot of gourds and things like that in the whole dining room area and whatever. So it's very beautiful. Actually, the fall tree is one of the most beautiful trees that they put together, and it just transitions. Everything just kind of comes off and then it's back up. They don't take the tree down. They just strip, but it's the same tree.
Yeah.
So, and they've skipped to those. We also are kind of the unorthodox family because we actually have scaled away from all those massive trees, all the cliches and all the movies and what people I want this big giant tree. Most of our trees are like skinny trees. They're taller and skinny. They take up, they're enjoyable without taking up such a massive amounts of square footage and creating problems logistically. So
the opposite of Clark Griswold's tree.
No, 100% the opposite. Yeah. I've been there though. Christmas story should the yaya. Yeah, that's one of my favorites for sure. See, move the tree only twice. It's out for months instead of a few weeks. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, just get it up, change it up a little bit. That's the tree issue. The live tree issue here is the fire hazard issue. They dry out and it becomes an issue with we have real lights on them and stuff like that. But I've been there. Yeah. I was a live tree person once I was on my own. Like we had always grown up with this massive, heavy, hard to build tree that my mother and us kids would have to help her construct. It would be like 7 feet tall, so it was way bigger than her. So we had to be on the ladders when we were old enough. So when I moved out on my own, I had no money. So my first tree, talk about Charlie Brown tree, I literally couldn't afford a tree, Jay. I was in college. I had a branch.
Yeah.
I went to this local hardware place where they were selling live trees, and they just gave me like a big branch, and I just trimmed it up and had it in a little pot, and that was my first tree. So I had a real tree because it does smell nice. It's pleasant. But over time, it's definitely once you start having kids or you have pets, live trees are a bit of a struggle for sure. Mm. Yeah, Joker lives out in Vegas area, so there's not a lot of trees. So
if you live in London, we don't see trees either. So,
but do you guys have a lot of people bring in Christmas trees?
No, we do. We do have a lot of trees. Yeah, we just don't. You can't see them from a lot of places in London. That's all.
I got you for the city. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the quite literal Charlie Brown tree. I couldn't even have a big ornament on it, Dave Bob. I had to get like these little tiny balls or something. I forget where I got them from. Probably like a secondhand store, like a Goodwill something. I was a college kid. I had no money at all. So yeah. So yeah, no, I think your perspectives and your definitional stuff, I think, is a decent guideline. I also don't think that you're out there like, well, you don't mind. You don't have a problem shaming some of us into our Christmas shenanigans. It's okay.
No,
I can take the
no.
lumps, but not everybody can. Like you said, some people do not like the concept of, how dare you say Die Hard is not. I try to humorously push back against the wife and my mother-in-law who attacked me over Christmas that stuff. So, but it was fun. I don't know if you heard my segment. I did a little briefly thing on the kids, the grandkids. They went through the different things that they wanted to watch when they got here, and they chose The Grinch. They chose the Rankin and Bass claymation type shows. The only Disney one that they wanted to watch is not a Disney movie. I mean, it's a Disney short, and it's called Prep and Landing. It's about these little elves that help Santa, and it's only like 20 minutes, and they wanted to watch that.
Yeah,
Disney's been purged from my life, man. We don't.
Yeah,
it's just not part of things here. So it's kind of weird how much has changed.
I think it's going to be purged from a lot of people's lives, especially sort of from more conservative families who were Disney's bread and butter for a while, or for years. And I think they're going to. Well, I don't know how they keep making money if they.
The theme parks
internationally, I suppose, isn't it?
The theme parks are still just massive.
Yeah, of course.
It's insane. It is just an absolute shocking amount of money because they keep raising the price rather than anything else.
Yeah.
So I just don't even know when that changes or not. So
I can't. I mean, I can't believe people still go. I mean, okay, it's all right, but like it. I mean, I've seen the prices, and I'm sorry, but what was that thing they did? That Star Wars ship, didn't they?
They made an entire resort.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
and it looked ridiculous. And I was just like, who is paying that? But obviously, you get some people who, especially Star Wars people, who will just pay through the nose for anything, won't they? But then they ran out of those people.
But I think there's a lot of that. I think like you said though, I think there's a general decline.
Yeah.
Because I've been out. I was on that train. I was a Disney person. It's here in Florida, so it was easy. We had passes. So in Florida, you cannot have to pay this massive amount. You can pay like a little bit per month and just kind of you pay year round, like having a service, but you can just go year round.
Yeah, nice.
And it was fine. We as a family enjoyed it. They have massive events and things that you get to be part of and all that. I'm with Joker. He talked about I dropped Disney Plus. It was like the last thing to go, especially because I had press access as well. So I had access to just tons of this stuff. And reality it's just gone.
Yeah, no, I've got rid of mine as well.
Yeah. They're starting to lose out on the theme parks too. Yeah, I think what they're trying to do is try to make it more like it's for the elite wealthy people and just less people, more money per person. So pay my way through college working at Disneyland. Yeah, I know Joker is still one of the greatest stories of that kind of stuff for sure. Anything Star Wars own, I know, man. It's a tough one out there. We just kind of moved on without it, and I don't know where we're at. The grandkids when they come here, they don't even ask. They have literally only watched maybe 1 or 2 Disney movies in the last 12 months. In I'll say in our care. When they were here for after one of the hurricanes, they were here for 10 days straight. So I thought, well, they're going to want in that cabinet soon. They're going to bring something up.
Yeah.
But even then, I think we kind of skirted it for the.
Are you a Daily Wire person? I mean, what's that? What's their service called? Bent Key or something?
I've had their services at times, and I think the only time we paid is we wanted to have access to one of the movies or something. We did a service. My son. My son and I shared the service for a year or whatever, and we never used it, never watched it.
No, fair enough.
I've never seen anything that I thought was particularly great. Here's my thing, Jay. We have decades of stuff for these people to watch. Right?
Yeah.
So my grandkids, what I do is I have one that would get up early and try to keep it quiet so the other ones can sleep till they get up. I would go onto YouTube and I'd find Saturday morning cartoon streams that people have done from the 80s and 90s. So it's 2 hours, even the commercials. So my at the time 5-year-old granddaughter sitting there with my little tablet propped up watching Mighty Mouse and Strawberry Shortcake and asking about commercials from stuff that would cost me a fortune on eBay because they're from toys from 35 years ago.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually watched a few of those that I just because I've seen them uploaded, and I thought, I'll watch that, and it brings back so many memories of like late 80s Saturday morning cartoons. Yeah, and it's the adverts, like commercials, which really get me, to be honest. All the jingles, you remember every single one.
It's my sweet spot, man. I have hundreds of they folks out here know I have hundreds of commercials on my Star Wars Day thing. I play all these retro commercials and toy. Yeah, you name it, and so many of these commercials are Pop-Tarts, cereals, McDonald's. Yeah. It's insane. No wonder we were freaking fat, obese Americans, man. We all grew up on the.
And I'm here in the UK, so it's not just you guys.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought this up, Joker, because I did something I think is worthy of at least note. It says if I want to watch Star Wars or Marvels 1 through 3, I saw the physical available. So Jay, I did the thing. I did not buy it through Disney, Marvel. I went on eBay, and someone during the Black Friday shenanigans had a sale. So during the heyday of Marvel, they had this box set of all of the 23 movies. It was like a set of all the movies. So the DVD copy, this guy sold, I got it for $10.
Nice.
So it's all of them in DVD. Now, I still have the Blu-ray. I have different ones that we watch. But I thought, well, for the DVDs, the ones I would never buy, they're in there. And then for the kids, if they want to have something on, I don't have to worry about cracking open my Blu-ray or the 4K version of Civil War. So I just put so I thought, and at some point, I can just give them this box set. So for $10, I'm with you, Joe. I'm totally good now. And I have multiple copies of the Star Wars movies, which Jay can tease me about all he wants. I don't care.
Well, I'd like to know more information, have more about that at some point, but we'll leave that for another time.
Star Wars,
about your multiple copies of stuff. I assume you've got the originals, and then the ones with the upgrade that George Lucas did, and then every release that they've all that stuff.
Mostly, I will say because of space and because I have found people I think will cherish them and enjoy them. I would say gifted. I still have a couple of the VHS box sets. There's like the original one. There's like a new one, but some of the other stuff I kind of like gifted to people so they could have them and they can go to their kids or whatever.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But I have like a couple different versions and copies of the releases and things like that. Because in addition to just the different versions, they only had certain like extra features and stuff that only came out at certain times. They weren't like it wasn't like a ubiquitous thing. Some of those features weren't always available. I enjoy watching that. So. Just this OG type stuff, man. This is crazy stuff. So things like Silverhawks and Thundercats, and just fun stuff, man. So fun stuff. Just watched 2 hours of 70s and 90s cartoon intros the other day. Totally happy place. Yeah, nice. There's just so many of those cartoons, and Joker is a big fan of one called Battle of the Planets.
Oh, I used to love that. Yeah,
there's a whole playlist on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and you can just find every single episode. G.I. Joe and Hasbro, they have some sort of like whole massive channel. They just play G.I. Joe 24/7. You can find every video, every movie, every episode or whatever. So
my favorites were Dog Tanyan and the Three Musker Hounds, and was it the Lost Cities of Gold? I think they were European cartoons that were dubbed into English.
Okay,
but they were cool. Good. I used to like those. Let me know in the chat if anyone remembers those.
I've heard of the first one. I don't think I know what the second one is.
Right.
Okay. The first one I've heard of, but I was G-Force was the other name for Battle of the Planets for sure. The other thing I wanted to just quickly is almost like a self-plug, so it might be boring, Jay, for a minute, but I was able to kind of dust off some fun stuff to promote because I'm definitely around the rabbit hole of the fact that a lot of things, I don't want to say totally suck, but most things are not as good as they used to be as far as options of things to go see or do. And in the process thereof, I feel like we can find ways to have good things to watch or do. And I'll put a link I don't know if I put a link in the description or not, but I did a video on this where Fathom Events is doing like different concerts and doing some different things. So I'm going to be trying to go and see this. This is me doing my video on it. So I don't really have it pulled up proper. I didn't really have this totally worked out, but So this is one of these rock bands that do concerts, and they have a Christmas concert they're doing, but instead of going on tour this year, they're going to put it in cinemas. So those tickets actually went on. The first screening was yesterday, and then it's on tonight. So it's a nice thing. It's called For King and Country, A Drummer Boy Christmas. They're Australian. It's a lot of percussion, a lot of Christmas music. It's a fun experience. I've seen it in real life. People have asked about, I have this drum back here. It's this drum. And it actually from
I've
them.
seen that, yeah.
Yeah. So it was one of those great experiences. And I was so thrilled to see it get out into cinemas because hopefully you can get to more and more people. Similarly, they're going to be doing a White Christmas re-release, 70th anniversary of the movie White Christmas, the Bing Crosby song and music and that kind of thing. So Fathom Events is one of those things that here has brought a lot of that stuff back into cinemas and theaters. And now the studios themselves are doing it because we had like The Mummy and Matrix. Those were not part of the original Fathom schedule. Those were put in by the studios. So I think this is a huge way to supplement, I want to say, not very good movies this year, to be honest. Like, what's the hot list look like? It's pretty lean out there. So that's why I like talking about it for that reason, to give people something to do. Yeah, Joker voice. I'm a big fan of Blue Falcon and Dog Wonder, Hong Kong Phooey.
Oh, I know the Hong Kong Phooey is. Don't know the others.
Yeah, same brand, just a different cartoon at the time. Sidney Marty Croft is the Land of the Lost and HR Puffin stuff, and there's like 20 of those. They're freaking crazy. Uber low budget puppet and film show. It's just crazy how much they raised.
Right.
Hanna-Barbera, so they owned Captain Caveman because he was part of like Laugh Olympics and all that kind of various stuff. So I hit a nerve when they're all lighting us up with all their favorite stuff.
I remember Captain Caveman.
Yeah. Johnny Quest. I just rewatched some Johnny Quest. I would say Johnny Quest was, the animation in Johnny Quest is really good. I mean, holy cow, the animation is like very meticulous and detailed. They do the Scooby-Doo trick though, where they were repeat backgrounds, so you don't always pick up on how good some of the details are. But Kirk's like talking about For King Country, just a fun experience. Yeah, I can't recommend that. So, another great ones: Space Ghost, Herculoids, Frankenstein Jr., Thundar the Barbarian. Yeah, these are all. A lot of these are on YouTube, folks. If you just put it in YouTube, you'll find. I think Thundar. They took the Thundar episode. Do you remember how cartoons were when we were young, Jay? Where it'd be like a 30-minute show, but it was like 3 little cartoons. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
7 or 8
I was
minutes.
just remembering like the Pink Panther used to have like the Pink Panther cartoons used to have one Pink Panther bit, then a bit with someone else. I think the little inspector, and then you had like the Pink Panther bit again. I used to love
the
that.
Ant and the Aardvark was one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So Thundar was the same way. It usually was like a couple of short ones. So if you go to YouTube, you'll find 7 to 8 minute, like that kind of thing. Those are the episodes for sure.
Yeah.
And a very educational show. That show was a lot about, there's one like, what's the life lesson, Billy? And it's about gravity. And you're like, wow. This was, I don't know where they're all talking
Heaven
about
knows
that,
what they'd be giving the lessons about now.
Oh, we do know.
I know.
But I will say there are some that are not as bad. I think Bluey is the only one that I can say is mostly okay. There's a couple episodes that get a little off the kilter, but for the most part, the core of it is very family driven or whatever. But I don't think Disney produced it. I think they just distributed it. So I know, Joker, I own the box set of this, and my grandkids, I said, we're going to watch this. And they're like, no, Pops, I don't want to watch it. They don't know what it is. And then you turn it on and their eyes just go boop, and they're just glued to the TV, and you're like, yes.
Yeah.
So let's see. Did I get through most things out there, folks? I just wanted to kind of start checking off the list of things to talk about once a week, and hopefully give people something positive to do on a Friday, kind of work it into my schedule, and be able to hang out with somebody that I enjoy hanging out with. So I'm glad Jay was able to be a part of doing that. So
yeah.
You able to keep up with this schedule? Because I know you're doing a lot of that real life stuff and the work and all that. So it's like about once a week or so people can expect a video.
Well, I'm gonna have to try. Yeah, I'm trying to step that up because I'm doing some Patreon exclusive stuff now. So I'm gonna have to try and get 5 out every month probably. I'd like to do more. That the more I could do, the better. I need to get into a better routine. Work is pretty tough. And yeah, it's. By the way, I did not. That wasn't me that said that. I don't want to look like I'm. Okay, thank you.
That was me. That was me putting that up there, folks.
I'm really not a self-promoter.
He is not a self-promoter like at all.
No.
So I'm doing my part. So.
But yeah, I'm hoping to be able to do more. And one day I'm hoping just to be able to bin my job off and just sit there on the sofa making YouTube videos all day. That's the dream. That is the dream.
Yeah, it would be fun, wouldn't it? Just to be able to just do something like this and just kind of have fun. I'm trying to get to the point where, you can just enjoy doing it. Some things will have a season. They can do it for a while, and after a while it kind of fizzles out, or scheduling becomes too much of an issue or a struggle.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things I know I have found for sure. So
yeah.
The lesson was intertwined in Thundercats. The producers hired a child psychologist to get around the quote extra segment at the end, which is what G.I. Joe does. That's interesting. I'd have to watch. I've only rewatched the first couple episodes of Thundercats, because when they did a comic book recently, I kind of wanted to tie it to, is it really accurate or not? And it surprisingly was. So yeah, it's good to know, Jack. Thanks, man. Yeah, it's cool. Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. It's been really, really fun doing this. It's great to be able to talk with Jay again, because we've definitely gone way too long doing that. But again, my life is shenanigans or off creating some chaos and stuff like that. But Joker is going to be back with us next week. We'll have some more of these similar kind of conversations. And yeah, Jay, man, friend, keep in touch. Let me know how things are going.
Thank you very much for having me. And thanks very much, everyone in the chat, for participating in the
Folks,
middle of the day.
Yeah, you guys take care and be blessed. Till next time, I'm Pops.
Thank you for